and it's going to burn you. Well, welcome to episode 1 of the Hawthorne Entertainment Podcast. I'm Nick, here with my main man, Owen Miller.
What's going on?
Here we are talking all about sports, nothing but sports, anything from hockey, basketball, football. You know, we might see some golf in there, maybe F1, never know, MMA.
Variety of everything.
Absolutely everything.
Anything that we want to talk about,
exactly.
We'll talk about.
We'll get some sport betting going as well. So plenty to look forward to, but just as a little introduction about ourselves, we're both sport management students at Brock University here in Niagara, St. Catharines, actually specifically in Ontario. I'm from Calgary, Alberta. I know it's a long way for me, but I have the biggest passion for sport, and that's just never going to change. So I thought, why not just work in sport? And for you are from just outside Ottawa, your little boony town.
Yeah, I'm from a little farm town of like 2,000 people outside Ottawa, so this is definitely a big change for me. But
no kidding.
Here to focus on my future career as a sport manager, or if this podcast blows up, then be that man, happen. Right? Who knows what's going to happen? We'll dive right into us. We're going to talk about the NBA this past week and burning hot, bowling, or cold as ice teams that we think, with record-wise, performance-wise, how they're going to do. Yeah. So we're going to start off with burning hot. Obviously, I got to give it to the Celtics. They're 6-0. Drew just making a great defensive impact. He's averaging like 5 assists per game. Like he now knows his place. He now knows what to do. Derek White, actually, he also found his role. Leads the team in field goal percentage, 64 and 1.25 SGP.
Yeah. He's killing it with the steals, actually. Never thought I'd see him average more than 1 steal per game, but I know it's early in the year. And Kristaps actually has been a huge addition for these guys. There's a lot of doubt with him when he was drafted by the Knicks. A lot of people were calling him Tingus Pingus. But credit to him, he is absolutely balling out right now. They're only really allowing 108 points per game against, which is actually pretty good so far. And they're also leading in the league first in points and first in rebounds too. So there's Porzingis coming in again.
How long do you think they're going to stay this hot for? Like, how long do you think their win record's going to go on until they lose?
It's not going to be prime Warriors. Nothing like that.
Definitely not.
But it's going. I could see them winning another four more games, right? I don't think
you think they're going to be 10-0 before they lose?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're gonna do well. Like I think so. Tonight they're playing Timberwolves. That's honestly, I'm putting my money again. I'd put my money on the Celtics. They're just on fire. Then they play the 76ers, which might give them trouble. But honestly, James Harden's not there anymore. I don't really know what to expect. And then in their first game, actually, for the NBA in-season tournament, they play the Nets, and then they play the Raptors on the 11th. So they do play back-to-back.
Yeah, so I think
that's four straight wins right there, I think.
Easy wins.
And the way they've been playing, too, like the Jays are balling out. Like Tatum's been a dog. He's averaging 30 points per game right now. I think Jaylen Brown, he's averaging just around 25 points per game. So they are playing really well. The chemistry is really flowing. And I think Drew's really fit in, too. I was worried at the start of the year that Marcus Smart, when they traded him to Memphis, I wasn't too sure as to what to think about, about who can actually fit that role. But again, Drew's fantastic, and he's obviously helping make a huge defensive front, right? Like typically they were getting scored on a lot last year. Compared now, they're really allowing one of the fewer amount of points.
But this is also the first 6 games since the season too, right?
Again,
so
that's
who knows if they can keep that up, right?
Yeah, can't stay hot forever, I don't think. But I guess then, boiling team that's just kind of heating up, showing a little signs of stuff. And I think I don't think we could go wrong here with a little bit of San Antonio Spurs.
Like you can't stop Wemby.
No,
Wemby is unstoppable right now.
Correct.
Even though the team's 3-3.
Yeah.
You see his block on Scotty?
Yep, ridiculous.
Unreal.
Ridiculous. Yeah, he's going crazy. So he had 5 blocks. against the Raptors, actually, with 20 points. I mean, in all fairness, the Spurs did choke that game. Congrats to the Raptors for really rallying back. That was good to see. Canadian team.
Great to see that.
But yeah, like he's just Wemby's presence too defensively is amazing. Like an average player's shot percentage drops by 26% if you're guarded by Wemby. There's a video of Schroeder actually in yesterday's game. He completely airballed a three by maybe 5+ feet just because of Wemby's presence. So it does make a huge difference.
So you think like it's getting to their head?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, for me, I'd say that if I saw someone 7'2" standing right in front of me like
7'4",
7'4" to be exact. There you go, 7'4" standing in front of me. I'd be terrified to shoot. For me, when I play against you, because you're a little taller, I'm terrified to shoot. Just can't do it, right? But I don't know. Wemby's looking promising, and I think the team is also really just learning how to use him. What I noticed, so they played the Suns this past week, back-to-back games actually, and absolutely dismantled the Phoenix Suns. But they were just throwing the ball down to the paint, and he was just able to catch it. He caught it.
That's
he was throwing down the
crazy. They toss it up high, give it to the unidentified flying object, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not from this earth and just slams it down.
There's a clip where he caught the ball right by the rim, and there's 3 Suns players all trying to grab it from him, but he just keep the ball high just like that. And Wemby's going to continue to dominate, right? And I mean, like, other than Wemby, though, too, like, the young core is working really well under Coach Pop. Like, Devin Vassell's playing fantastic. He shot 40% and then 70% both games against the Suns. So credit to him for actually really that type of performance. And he's just proven he can shoot. Yes, they don't have that guy they can necessarily go to all the time to make that shot. But I think as the season progresses, they're going to have more young leaders. They're going to have more guys step up that can hit those shots. And I think Vassell's got to be behind Wemby, team option 1 or 2.
You think right now the reason why they're not like bowling hot, like 6-0 like the Celtics is just like team chemistry and just confidence?
Yeah, they're young too, right? Like I think for the first couple of games watching Wemby, I just thought he wasn't really fitting in. Like there's just nothing was happening. It felt all very individual. But again, what I noticed about watching the game against the Phoenix Suns and a little bit about the Raptors game too, they did work really well. But again, Vassell did not play against Raptors, and then they lost. So I think he's going to be huge. But once they have that team chemistry, if they brought in like a vet, doesn't have to be a star player. These guys could really learn a lot, and I think within a couple of years they'll be at least a play-in team.
Yeah. So who do you think the Spurs could bring in to help their team? Like if you were Pop right now and you wanted a player,
thinking of free agents,
future sports manager, who would you bring in?
Who would I want to bring in? Not that he's playing right now, but I would want someone like a Rajon Rondo type of player.
Really? Okay.
Someone that's looking to move the ball, someone that can really speak from their experience.
Yeah.
Like let's say look at the Rockets. So they've recently just grabbed Fred VanVleet in free agency this year. Fred is not like the best point guard in the league. He's not but he's a guy you can. You could go to for a shot.
You can rely on Fred.
And you've got such a young core, so it's really, I don't know. I think you just need some guy like that, or like a guy like Chris Paul, even, like just to bring that vet presence. You don't need a star. Yeah. You don't need like a Curry who's gonna
just someone who's been that leader for a while and can get these guys.
Because at the end of the day, Wemby's going to be your number one option, and you want it to be that way.
I think
you want to build around him.
You bring in a vet and you get someone who's able to work with them.
It's exactly like how they had Tim Duncan, right? Pop knows how to work with big guys, and they ended up having Tony Parker. So unfortunately for the Spurs, they've lost DeMar in the past years and DeJounte Murray. But if you get that kind of point guard, but Vassell can totally get up to there. I think his ceiling's super high. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what these guys can cook up.
Too, right? Like he's so much potential. Have to wait and see.
Really cooking up. But, on the opposite of cooking up, on the opposite of boiling, any type of warmth, the Memphis Grizzlies are they're cold as ice. 0-6 to start of the year.
Yeah, they lost their best shooter, man. Shooter's gone.
Shoot, right? But John Morant, we won't get to that. But I mean, I just don't really know what's going on here. They did lose Steven Adams to surgery at the start of the year, so they picked up Bismack Biyombo, who's a vet center, but old and a little slower. Bane's playing great, balling out, 26 points per game. Love the guy. He's got T-Rex build, but he's just yoked. This guy's amazing.
I think they overthought Marcus Smart's ability as
a teammate. I'd agree right now. I'd agree.
Smart's a good player if you get someone when Ja comes back. Whatever, if he doesn't do anything more.
100%.
If he comes back.
Yeah.
Then, the team could do... they could do some damage. You got Marcus Smart and Ja Morant working well together.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I think it would work. But he's not filling Ja's shoes.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think Ja's shoes are super huge to fill too, especially temporarily. Like Ja's only suspended for 25 games. We have to think about that. So how much
he'll be back soon.
How much are they going to really dial in with Smart? How much are they going to build a rotation right now around him? When in all fairness, when they're practicing, they're building that around Ja. So
I don't think they're going to try to build around Smart for the next.
I'd agree with that.
What, 19 games? They've played 6 games. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 19 games left. I think they're just gonna kind of keep the same momentum going and just kind of wait for Ja Morant to get back and then really start.
Yeah.
They're definitely not playoff contenders this year. Definitely not.
Well, I think when that's a crazy take.
I can't see them being playoff contenders.
That's crazy. I think once
when Ja comes back, I think he won't be adjusted to the league anyway. I'm not saying he's bad, whatever. He's obviously been out for a while, and the league has changed a bit too. Like, look at Wemby, look at how everybody's shooting and actually playing now. It will be a little different, but next year maybe. But you missed the first 25 games of the year, you're missing out a lot.
I think they could still come back from it. Last year they were top in the West with Ja playing while he's there. He's proven to be that guy for them, and everything works really well. And now they've only gotten deeper with the addition of Marcus Smart now. So it's not like they'll go 0 for 25. I think
they're 0 for 6 right now. I'm saying
they're not going 0 for.
No, I'm just gonna say they're gonna lose more games than win within the next 20 games.
Yeah, agreed. But I think they have the coaching, they have the players to really turn it around. I mean, right now they're 23rd in scoring, so it's not like they have a scoring issue. They're able to score. It's just other teams have put up, marginally better scores than them. They are struggling a little bit in the shooting percentage at 43% as a team. So, but again, once Ja comes back, that number is only going to go up. So, one person that I'd love to actually see step up a little bit for them would be Luke Kennard from 3. They use a huge addition they got, I believe, last year. He was on the Clippers originally, 3-point menace. I think they give him a little bit more looks, and that shooting percentage is going to skyrocket just a little bit. So, but honestly, fans shouldn't be too worried about it. In my opinion, I think you might disagree with it. I think they still will make playoffs. I mean, they can make the play-in for sure. But I don't see much to be worried about unless, as long as Ja's been doing his conditioning, doing everything that he said he's promised to do, staying out of all the hood stuff.
Who knows, right?
Well, who knows exactly? But this is 3 strikes and you're out, right? So he's already done
pretty fast,
stupid shit twice in a row this year or this past season. So he needs to figure that out anyway. But those are 3 teams. So Grizzlies cold, San Antonio's boiling a little bit, and Celtics burning hot. But we'll see how it changes for next week.
It could all change next week, honestly.
Exactly. But big night today. So today's Monday the 6th. Harden is returning to action for the first time this year. So if you guys haven't seen, I'm sure most of you have, there's a big trade that went down between the Clippers and the 76ers. Sixers are receiving Batum, Marcus Morris, Covington, KJ Martin, and multiple draft picks. Clippers do receive James Harden and PJ Tucker. So PJ's already suited up for the
PJ's
Clippers,
played. And
looks like normal PJ Tucker to me.
Yep.
It's amazing I followed Harden around like this from Rockets, Rockets, 76ers, Clippers now. But you know what? Honestly, I'm loving it. I'm not going to expect the world out of James Harden tonight.
No.
I do expect, though, 20-plus points from him. I'm super excited to watch him play. Your starting lineup's got Westbrook, James Harden, of course. You got Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Zubac.
That should be a contending team. That's amazing.
Amazing
right?
team.
It's such a great starting 5, even with Russ and James playing with each other again.
Yeah.
They've got that chemistry from Houston, too.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see if they can finally click and, I don't know, maybe get a chip this year, next year with a lot of chemistry, momentum.
Yeah, we can't discredit their depth as well, right?
No.
Like they've got Bones Highland, they still have Norman Powell, right? Like I guess now PJ Tucker's going to be coming off the bench, and none other than Mason Plumlee, the man, the myth, the legend, one of the best centers in the league. Obviously, that is satirical, but I do love Mason Plumlee, and you also got Terrence Mann as well too, right? So like this team is the fact that they didn't have to give up Mann in that trade was awesome. I think for the
Clippers won that trade.
It was a bit of a free shot, but I think when you have that unhappy player,
I think they were just trying to get rid of him and get their best option. They weren't trying to,
and they freed up the $30 million, right? They originally picked up his $30 million, James's $30 million player option. Now the Clippers have to deal with that. And you know what happens if something doesn't go right in Los Angeles? Not that I don't see that happening, that I do see it happening. But if something happens, James is a free agent next year. James Harden will be a free agent.
He only signed the 1 year.
Well, no, they're still on contract with 76ers. Yeah, so this was his last year.
Forgot about that.
So it'll be pretty. I don't see why they can't. No, they'll re-sign him.
Yeah,
but for what money? You're paying these guys tons of money, but Russ isn't being paid a lot. Your bench players aren't being paid the most. So we'll see what they can do freeing up some cap space.
Do you think they're going to keep
sacrifice? Yeah, they'll keep him, but they'll have to sacrifice some of the bench players, I think.
Yeah, obviously if they want to keep
next year to keep him around, so it'll be pretty tough. I mean, there's also the luxury tax and that, so I don't think they're too stressed about the money, especially Steve Ballmer. That guy is, I think, the wealthiest NBA owner in the league at the current moment in time. So really don't think they should worry about money wise. But tonight's gonna be a great game.
Yeah, obviously I'm watching that. I need to see my boy Harden.
I think he's going to cook, and then will be interesting to see how their starting lineup changes. I think Russ should be on. If Russ starts, I think he'll be subbed off quickly, and then he'll be joining the bench squad here and there, or he will start with the bench squad, which again I'm not against because it's adding that veteran depth.
Which is what you need too.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And then I guess too, like we were talking about Wemby earlier, really gassing him up. There's other notable rookies out there.
Chet, man.
But
it's either Wemby or Chet. Those are my two.
Rookie year, Wemby or Chet for you?
Rookie of the year, Wemby or Chet.
Yeah. So 100%. Right now, Wemby's leading the odds with minus 130. Which I think there's no surprise.
Sorry, we did this Instagram poll where we asked people.
We did do an Instagram poll.
This information from.
So fall. Odds are odd. Betting odds are betting odds, but between I think there's over 50 people that had voted. 75% people voted Wemby for Rookie of the Year. Chet came in at 14% for Rookie of the Year. Scoot came in with 8%. Scoot has been throwing up nothing but bricks so far this year, which I'm actually pretty disappointed to see. I think
you can't compare Scoot to a guy like Wemby and Chet, though. That's what I'm thinking. You can't.
You can't. But Scoot balled out in the preseason.
Yeah,
and he's got that role is calling his name there in Portland. I think Portland's just in shambles a bit. They're trying to figure out, how to go from having a whole offense based around Dame to okay, who do we put it around now, right?
So they're focusing on a guy who doesn't have that much experience to be focused on.
Yeah, so it's tough.
You need another vet if you're going to try to build around Scoot.
Yeah.
You need someone who can work with him and then get his momentum back, his confidence up.
Agreed.
And start balling.
But again, I'm not there. It's going to take a good couple of years for them to rebuild, so I'm not too worried about Scoot.
Yeah.
I just want to pick him for Rookie of the Year. And then Brandon Miller had one singular vote. I don't know who it was. One vote. Yeah. But I mean, Brandon Miller's a bucket, but just he's not going to compete with Wemby or Chet.
Can you see who voted for Brandon Miller?
Yeah, I could scroll through it later. We won't.
Takes too much time.
We won't call him out through that. But personally, I'm going. I don't want to be the favorite guy. I don't want to do it, but I'm going to. Wemby is a lock, I think. Unfortunately, I do like Chet's odds. It's going to come down to health. I mean, Chet's the only guy that's really had an injury. What I would do worry about too with Chet is that last year was actually supposed to be his rookie year, but then he broke his foot playing in a pickup game with LeBron James. And he was out for the year. So it'll be, I think it'll be interesting to see. And we saw, Ben Simmons in his rookie year, his second year, because he didn't play the first year, he won MVP. Still rubbish, or sorry, not MVP, sorry, rookie of the year. Ab's still rubbish, but
didn't deserve that.
Yeah, but so you never really know what to expect.
Well, yeah, Wemby and Chet are pretty much built the exact same. The fact is Wemby's 7'4", and it's if Wemby gets hurt, then Chet gets Rookie of the Year, and if Chet gets hurt, that's Wemby.
Yeah, it just locks it up even more, right?
Those two guys, I don't think it's any other competition who should be in the running.
Yeah.
As of now, who knows what happens? Maybe Scoot goes off the next 20 games, starts averaging something crazy like 35 a game.
Won't happen. Not happening, unfortunately.
You never know.
Yeah,
you never know too. Like you're 6 games in.
But yeah, if you guys are big into sport betting though, I'd lock in Wemby right now. I'd throw at least. I mean, $10 is only paying you $1.30 in profit right now. So, but it is because he's the only one with the minus odds right now. So he's a big favorite by a couple points there. But I guess if we're speaking on favorites and some odds and stuff too, we'll transition a bit into MVP race as well. Now we understand it's both pretty early in the year. Jokic so far is he's residing. The odds are residing with him at plus 340. Obviously, I think it's more difficult to predict MVP versus Rookie of the Year, and that's why the odds are different. And then Luka's coming in with second highest odds at 420. Now, personally, well, actually, we'll go back to our poll that we ran. Luka was the clear favorite by a couple votes for MVP this year, which I'm not going to disagree with. Jokic came in second, so
I don't think Jokic is getting it this year.
I think we'll build on a second. I think the fans are recognizing that Luka's super deserving of it. Yeah. Right. There's also the casuals. There's a few Durant votes, a few LeBron votes. I think unfortunately for LeBron, I don't know if that's happening.
No.
One of my buddies, he said Devin Booker's going to win it, but I'm going to firmly disagree with that, especially with the amount of injuries he's had so far. But you know what? I agree. I don't think Jokic is going to win it this year. I think there is a little bit, honestly, of voters fatigue. I think there will be anyway.
In what way?
In this year, well, just let's look at the last 5 MVPs, right? They've been either centers or power forwards. So just Giannis is only power forward, right? Last guard to actually win MVP was James Harden, I think back in 2017 with the Rockets. So, and that's, again, when he was putting up unimaginable stats, right?
But what about Tatum? Do you think
Tatum's my honorable mention?
Okay.
Let's just because I am voting Luka here. As much as it hurts me to say that, just crunch some numbers from right now they're both averaging 30 plus. Luka's averaging an extra 3 points per game. He's almost averaging a triple double. Tatum. He's at 9.6 rebounds, which is fantastic. His assist numbers aren't there, but that's not really his role. Last year, Tatum did finish 4th in MVP voting, and Luka was way further down. Injuries played a part, and also they did not make the playoffs, actually even the play-in. So
I think this year with Luka being able to work around Kyrie again, I think he'll be a better contender. Yeah, I think this might be Luka's year to go MVP.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, Luka is just. Luka's been deserving of it. He's been hooping, and without him, they haven't won. But at the end of the day, it might come down to how the team places. Last year, they should not have, been eliminated from making the playoffs last year. It was disappointing, and they got fined because people actually thought they would tank so they could get that 10th draft pick, actually. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's still super early. I think basketball fans should be super excited to see what's going to be produced. What's going to be produced?
Yeah,
from
there's
Tatum,
also
from
so
Luka.
many more games to go, right? Like so much more we can see.
So it's time to be excited. So and actually, speaking of a little bit of excitement too, the NBA has done something a little bit different this year. They've started with the NBA in-season tournament.
I love it. I love the in-season tournament.
I do think it's great too. I mean, we're only
amazing.
Right, we're only 6, 7 games into for each team until the year. and there's already tournament, an extra level of competition. So for those,
it makes the game so much more interesting and just different for me.
Yeah, exactly. So
watching and I saw the best part for me right now is the different courts. I love all the designs and specialties and stuff like that, and seeing KD's reaction to finding out he's going to play in a purple court just.
Yeah,
one of the best KD moments I think I've seen in a while.
My only downside with courts is it's really tough to watch.
It's hard to
for my eyes,
it's hard to adjust to.
But it's just the ball looks weird, not with natural like hardwood floor. But I think it's great. But anyway,
it makes the game different.
Yeah,
and I like it for that.
Yeah, right? Exactly. So like for those that might not be too completely aware of it, like this tournament's lasting a full month. Each game is counting towards regular season record. There's group stage, so teams got put into random groups. Each team is playing 4 other teams total, 2 at home, 2 at away. There's also going to be, you want to place first in your pool, obviously, but then there's also 2 wildcard teams. So those are going to be 2 teams that came second with the best record, and that will have to probably come down to the point differential a little bit as well. And then, so once you get to the knockout round, it's a single game elimination, so you just got to win. Essentially,
it just drives for more competition.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you see these guys actually going full on, giving it their all now. When you will see it when
and
groups get eliminated, but it's what 10 games in, 6 games in.
Yeah, there's only 6 games in. Yeah,
crazy.
But yeah, and they don't really get much of a award. They do get compensated. I think each player gets $500,000 if you win.
Oh, that's
you win if you're in semifinals. You still get paid extra money. If you're in quarterfinals, you still get paid. So there's more incentive. Same with coaches as well. But let's just break down the bracket here a little bit. I know there's been a few games that have started. We'll start with the West here. So in West Group A, we've got Memphis Grizzlies, the Suns, Los Angeles Lakers, Utah Jazz, and then the Portland Trailblazers. Now, one team to come out of that group. Who's your pick?
Phoenix 100%. Memphis,
I agree.
I couldn't do anything. Portland, no.
Well, the thing is, Memphis is so cold. How do we know they're going to turn around just for this tournament, right?
They're not.
So yeah, I think
I'm going to go Phoenix because after hearing like the prize money and whatever for $500K, I don't think LeBron's going to do it. I mean, $500K to LeBron's nothing. I don't really see him.
But he's a competitor. He's one of the
most
competitors in the league.
If D-Book's healthy for all this, I'm going.
I'm going to take Phoenix. With the exception as long as Devin's playing. Now it's not looking likely that he is. Their first game, I believe, is actually against the Lakers this Friday. So that's going to be an incredible game to watch. Hopefully Devin's healthy. Hopefully we see Beal too. Actually, I haven't seen the big trio.
Beal is a big thing.
We haven't seen the big trio yet. So again, got rid of Chris Paul for him and hasn't played. But
still he's a good trade, I think.
100%. But he is nearing that comeback. West Group B, we've got the Nuggets, Clippers, Pelicans, Mavs, and the Rockets. Now, I think this is in the West, arguably the best group.
Yeah.
Competition-wise, I think this is going to be the tightest match. They'll have the tightest matches. You know what? I'm going to take the Nuggets, and I'm
really
just because I don't. As much as I love Harden and how he is as a player and how dynamic he is, you cannot sleep on the reigning champs. Their chemistry, they're still playing great.
Yeah.
Clippers just sometimes they just don't perform the way I think they should, and they're always hurt.
Harden's coming up.
I know that. Clippers, I know that, but this is me saying I haven't seen Harden play. I wish if we had done this tomorrow, we seen Harden play. Maybe my answer would be different. But my honorable mention would be 100% the Clippers. But I'm going to rock with Nuggets.
I'm taking Mavs.
Yeah.
I'm taking Kyrie and Luka.
They'll ball out.
They're gonna ball out, right?
Look, they're 6-1 on the year. They've started off great, so I think that's honestly almost a better pick than the Clippers themselves.
Yeah.
It's just going to come down. I think Kyrie's battling with a little bit of an injury here. They're playing back to back. They played last night against Charlotte. They're playing today, so we'll see if that's going to affect anything. I don't think the Rockets are going to cause that much trouble. Pelicans could be a big underdog in this too a little bit. They might stir the pot, but I like your Mavs pick at second. In the West C, we've got Kings, Warriors, Timberwolves, OKC, and San Antonio Spurs.
I'm going Warriors right off the bat there.
Yeah?
right off the bat.
Little bandwagon. I'm just teasing.
Not a bandwagon pick. You're like Steph Curry.
Anyone that likes Warriors, you gotta call him bandwagon. No, I agree with that. But I am excited to watch OKC play.
Really?
I've bet on them so much this year. I love betting on them, and you know what? Chet, SGA, J-Dubs, like these guys are not messing around.
They're
anymore.
Obviously competitive. Don't get me wrong with OKC.
Yeah.
But when you pair them in the same group with 5 other teams or 4 other teams, and you got Golden State in there, I'm gonna have to roll with Golden State just because I know they can win. They can perform. They can do what's necessary to beat every other team.
Yeah.
They've won multiple rings. I'm going Warriors, but I wouldn't be surprised if OKC did come out and win.
Agreed.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And I think too, Sacramento, that they're a great team. It's like De'Aaron Fox is now hurt. He's battling, I think, groin injury of some kind.
Yeah, but that's
so we'll see. We'll see what I think. Warriors is for sure the best pick there, but OKC is going to be the team to stir the pot. And you know what? Timberwolves went too. Anthony Edwards, he's a dog. Never know what's going to happen there.
Too. But we didn't even talk about Wemby in this. I didn't even.
It's just the rest of the Spurs. As much as I love Vassell and I think Wemby's going to be great, I really do not walk out with. I can't see them beating the Warriors or the Kings or OKC or Timberwolves. Really, right? Think about it. You have to go 4-0. I don't see that happening, right? For them to unless they become the wild card team, then they have to go 3-1 to be the wild card team. So I unfortunately for San Antonio, don't see that. I guess we'll move to the East. 76ers in Pool A with Cleveland Cavaliers, Atlanta Hawks, Pacers, and Detroit Pistons.
What do you got?
You know, I'm really liking the Cavs.
Really?
I'm liking the Cavs play. Yeah, I think I would guess that you're going to pick 76ers.
I was going to pick 76ers.
But I'm a big Donovan guy.
Okay.
I've had him in fantasy before,
he's been doing good.
One of the top 3 shooting guard for sure in the league. Darius Garland's now back. Jarrett Allen's now back off injury. Mobley's been playing great, so I think things are finally coming together. They've had some tough games, like they did do back-to-back against the Knicks, and they're very close to 2 games, so it'll be good to see. But 76ers is a great second pick.
I just think
first pick for you.
You can't hate on Embiid. Embiid knows how to win.
Correct. He knows how to flop too, actually.
Yeah, he needs to start swimming in the pool and not diving on the court too much. As a Raptors fan, like that's ridiculous.
We'll pop it up. There's a video when they played the Suns actually the other night. He was driving in the basket, threw one of the elbows right into Nurkic's head, and he still managed to flop. He did this, and he dove, and he just threw it up without looking at the rim.
So he got every call he could get. Yeah.
But Embiid's hilarious. But hey, I have him in fantasy, so I expect nothing but the best from him. My 3rd pick in fantasy this year. I think he's going to be great. Okay, Pool B, Bucks, Knicks, Heat, Wizards, Hornets. I think Wizards, Hornets are automatically out of this conversation. No disrespect, they are just playing like
sorry,
shit.
LaMelo, sorry, Jordan Poole, but fortunately you're not doing well. Not contenders in this. I'm going to go Bucks.
Yeah, okay. I like that. That's fair. I think
you got Dame. Dame hasn't been doing the greatest so far.
Nor has Giannis, though. Giannis hasn't been.
But you can't put disrespect on those guys.
No, you
I know their capabilities. Yeah. I know what they can do. I think that it's 100% going to work, and I think they're just going to come out winning that. Yeah. Heat obviously are going to give some competition.
Yeah, they're going to stir the pot. I think
100% going to stir the pot.
Honestly, I'm 100% riding with you, Bucks. But you know what? Knicks have been playing pretty well. Jalen Brunson is still proving to be that guy on that team.
Yeah.
But for them to make it out of this pool, they need Julius Randle to be way better. He's on a terrible shooting streak right now. I don't quite know the numbers, but I saw this stat like last game actually against the Bucks. Coincidentally, he shot 5 for 20 from the field and 1 for 9 from 3, which is absurd for someone who I think could be almost at all-star level. Definitely maybe 3rd-team All-NBA. I think that's actually what he was last year. So he just right now he's shooting 27% total on the year. That's worse than all NBA teams like combined, right? Like 22% from 3. I know it's just a shooting slump. Basketball players have it. So for Knicks to do anything, I think Knicks will be 3rd in this pool. Heat will be 2nd. But Bucks, I think, is a lock. And then last group we've got. I think it's actually a great group. We got Celtics, Nets,
could go either way,
Raptors, Bulls, Orlando. I'm sorry, Orlando, you were automatically off in my books.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about them.
What what do you like out of this pool? Who are you? Because I'm seeing I want to ride with the Celtics.
Yeah,
but again, they're gonna have to win 4 straight in this pool. What happens if they lose prior to this and they go and lose instead? That's kind of my point, you know.
Yeah,
they're already undefeated.
This
Hard to
might
maintain
be a
that.
tough one for me. Obviously, my heart wants to go Raptors, but that's a joke at this point. Obviously, Raptors fan, I just don't see them.
Yeah,
I just don't see them winning this. No hate, whatever. Bulls, they're looking okay, but it's ultimately for me. I have a strong feeling the Nets might pop off and do something.
Yeah, yeah. I'm liking the Nets. I think they're being dogs. They've been battling it out in the slums. They've had some tough competition. They're actually playing the Celtics the other night, and they were playing really well. So we'll just see how it goes. Bulls, don't really see them doing too much. Raptors, they just haven't been really cutting it out for me. I mean, great comeback win against the Spurs. We did mention that earlier.
Amazing comeback win.
It was a great game.
Scotty was nuts. I would love to see that.
Without Scotty, this team is who they have shooting the ball without, like, yes, you have Pascal.
Pat Bev saying there's no dog.
There is no dog. And honestly, as much as I don't like him, I agree.
hate the guy, but he's right. He's completely right. There's no dog on the team.
Yeah, I don't know. Raptors don't have. They just haven't had that dog.
I thought Schroeder was really going to do something for the team. I thought after
he's doing all right. Though.
He's doing all. No, don't get me wrong.
Dog shit. He's just not
great.
He's not exceeding expectations.
I thought after the World Cup.
Yeah, he balled out.
I thought he was going to be like the shit.
Yeah.
I had higher expectations for his performance.
Yeah, me too.
Still great. I'm happy the dude's on the team. Gotta love him. But
well, I mean, I think they're also getting used to the new system, right? Like McNurse is now he's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, they did have a bunch of changes.
You got trying to implement
Fred
Grady.
Was a big
yeah,
one too.
Huge. You're trying to implement Grady Dick in a way, right? So Scotty's playing great. Good on him. I hope it stays that way as long as he can. But yeah, I don't know. I like this in-season tournament. I think it gives us a really early glimpse as to what playoffs can look like. It's just you get to see teams perform under pressure, especially in the knockout stages, right? I think it's also great for the NBA too. They're going to sell more broadcasting rights.
They're going to do amazing with their revenue. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, so it's something for people to look forward to. And the thing is, you have your normal regular season games throughout this month, and then you have your the cup games. I think is what they're calling them. So yeah, the courts are great. The jerseys are pretty cool. I think they could have done better on some of them. Like Memphis ones, I didn't like. Raptors were kind of basic. But they're, I think it's something.
Well, Raptor, like you're talking about jerseys?
Yeah, they're all gold ones.
Yeah, well, it's obviously OVO. Like they're
correct. But it's
the
just
OVO jerseys are all gold. They've done it. Yeah, they've done it before.
Like, if anything, why not do gold with the dinosaur? Like, like the Vince Carter era, like a bit of like an OVO Vince Carter mashup. That would have been
perfect. Right?
Exactly. So I don't know. It's different, but
all right. So out of the 3 different groups in West, who do you think's coming out and going to the finals? Who do you think? So like West and East.
Let's see here. I had picked Suns. I picked Nuggets, and then I think Warriors. You know what? If I do really think if the Suns are healthy, I'm going to go with the assumption that they're not, that they would make it. But I'm going to roll with the Nuggets on this one. They are just
really
they've just been solid. Yeah, but I am really liking your pick with Mavs right now.
Yeah, I was going to say Mavs are coming out with us, or I hope. I've got the Mavs to win this whole thing.
Yeah.
We did a little vote. A couple of roommates, a bunch of them were saying Clippers, Suns, Warriors, and Mavs. We all kind of thought we're going to win this whole tournament.
Yeah.
Out of the East, though, in the finals, I think I got Mavs, and let's do another look here. So
I'm going to do Celtics.
I was going to say Nets.
Okay.
Mavs, Nets.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Nets are a bit of I think that's what could come out of the Celtics pool, especially if it's one of the wild card teams. I'd imagine they do one wild card from the West and maybe one from the East. Unless it's 2 per pool.
I'm just looking
side, which I don't think it is.
I could see the Nets beating all of these teams in the East division.
And East A and East
B. The way I do hope, obviously, I'm really rooting for Dame here.
Yeah.
But with his performance and Giannis's performance so far, I don't see it happening. Obviously, I think the Bucks are going to get out of East B. But I think the Nets and Mavs are going to be in the finals, with the Mavs taking a win in the in-season.
I like it. I like that. I like that kind of like dark horse team you got there with the pick with the Nets. I'm going to roll Celtics. I mean, they are 6-0. Is that sustainable, especially
Who knows?
with this tournament?
Like the next 4 games.
Yeah,
it's sustainable. They'll most likely.
They only play one cup game out of these next 4 games, right? So
but still, their record going in could be what, either 9-1 or 10-0. Those are my 2 things.
Yeah. So we'll just see. I do like the Bucks too. The chemistry between Giannis and Dame hasn't been mashing as much as I thought it was going to so far.
I thought for sure they'd click.
Yeah, me too.
But Dame also didn't want to go to Milwaukee. It's a huge adjustment.
He hasn't been around a star ever in his career, other than playing like Team USA basketball or anything like that.
I think he doesn't know his place right now. I think that's the big thing with him.
Yeah. Well, he's going to continue to shoot. That's all I'd want for him.
Shoot, man. Go for it.
But I don't like. They just haven't really showed me, quite anything good yet. So.
All right, on to a different segment. We're going to get Nick to talk about the NFL, because I don't know anything about that organization.
Yeah, well,
and I don't know how to complete a good fantasy team.
Hey, neither can I, man.
No,
we're both 1-7 at the bottom of the pool.
I guess you haven't finished. I'm technically 1-8.
Technically 1-8. I have a chance to win tonight. All coming down Justin Herbert, the man, and actually Chargers defense. So hopefully I can pull through. I do not want to do a fantasy punishment, which is a stand-up comedy.
We will be filming the stand-up comedy. It'll either be myself, Nick, maybe our other roommate Oliver. Depends on how his next couple
But most likely one of us to ask.
I'm leaning towards me. He has the probability to win. I did too, and then I only got 79 points this week.
I had the probability to win too, and I might be
very upset about that.
So we'll see. But anyway, let's dive into it. I just want to kind of highlight a bit past this week, but we're given its first episode talking early takes of basketball. Why not do it a little bit for football? I want to talk about the candidate for offensive rookie of the year. I would put $100 on CJ Stroud right now. This guy's been balling out last game against Buccaneers. 470 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's got a 62% completion rate. Right, he's averaging I think around 280 yards per game. He did only have one bad performance, in my opinion, this season so far, and that was against Panthers, in which they won their first NFL game this year. But I would totally lock him over Puka Nacua for the offensive rookie of the year. And you know what? Puka's stats were great to start the year. Obviously, Cup's hurt. And then they stayed pretty good, actually, with Cup's return. But now I think they're starting to dive off just a little bit. Obviously, Cup's been the man. And also, too, Stafford is hurt. So that's going to make it, you need your quarterback.
I did have him on fantasy. I didn't know he was hurt until the last.
Oh, Stafford?
Yeah.
It was questionable for the week. Yeah. So it was unfortunate. But I mean, at the same time, like Puka cannot perform without Stafford. How well would CJ Stroud perform without, say, Nico Collins? Nico Collins has been balling out. Amazing rookie wide receiver that they've got there. And you know what? I'm really looking forward to the next couple of years for the Texans. Obviously they had Deshaun Watson, traded him away. There's all the scandal, but CJ's really looking to be really good quarterback. And I thought Bryce Young might be a little bit better coming out of that draft class, but I'm really liking CJ Stroud this year. Really am.
I'm looking at our segment here. I do know one thing about that we can talk about. I love the "Fuck Dallas" shirt. That I found very funny when I saw that.
Kittle, 49ers.
And now 3 straight losses since that?
Since that day, 3 straight losses.
You put karma on yourself, man. You did that to you.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest believer in karma, but again, it happens, right? It does. It 100% does happen. I mean,
I think that's a huge superstition that they fucked up with the T-shirt.
Well,
they were amazing. Like, I don't watch the sport religiously, but like Sunday, all the boys are watching it. There's like 3 TVs. Yeah, okay, I'll watch it. I knew their record. I knew they were playing well. Buddy back home, his favorite team is 49ers, so I always text me about all these stats, and I act like I know what he's talking about. I have no idea, but I thought this was really funny just seeing it all over social media on my feed for Instagram.
Yeah. No, it was a good publicity stunt a little bit, but again, like pretty, he's got 5 interceptions last 3 games. He had him throwing one for the first 9 straight games in his career. So obviously it has to happen at some point. You're going to throw picks. But, I think has really kind of taken a toll on his playing style a little bit too. He's kind of lost some confidence, which I know he'll get back to it. And you know what? There's a lot of criticism that he cannot perform without his full ball offense. To make things even better for him, I guess, or at least for the 49ers, they just traded for Chase Young for a third-round pick, which is, I feel like, in my opinion, absolutely nothing. But Chase Young hasn't done too much, but he's a great player. Him and Nick Bosa are going to be disgusting. But again, Debo's been hurt. Ayuk's had his injuries. And again, without CMC, how good would Purdy be? Kind of tough to know. But I think, this past week they just had a bye week. Now this week they're playing the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Hopefully they can change some things up, get back in the win column. I think I'll be good.
Perfect.
And then, you know what? Let's speak about last night's football game. We had the Buffalo Bills versus Bengals. Every year, one of my favorite games per year. But again, once again, for me, disappointed.
Who won that?
It was the Bengals. Bengals won, I think, by touchdown.
Okay.
But, so Joe Burrow is 100% back.
Joe Shiesty, everybody.
Yeah, Burr. Like, he's cold
Burr.
right now.
He is the fucking man.
He is dialed. First couple games are a little bit shaky with, passing completions, his QB ratings. But, last game against the Bills, 348 passing yards, it's 2 touchdowns with 108 quarterback rating and 70% completion rate. Game before that, 80% completion rate. So right now, Joe Burrow is 100% back. He's dialed. I know there's always criticism at the start of the year. Bengals always start 0 for something. This year they just happen to start 0 for 4, but they're back. But a question that I have to raise is that what is going on with Josh Allen and the Bills? What is everyone loves Josh Allen? We love him here at the house. We actually have a Josh Allen blanket. Yeah. But what is actually going on?
Where's the Josh Allen out there?
Sitting over there. It's just
do we pull that out and kind of meet ride Josh Allen right now, or
how can we meet ride him when he's playing?
Listen. I know a couple things.
All right, here we go. Here's your football.
Here's my hot takes on football. Roommate last year, also named Owen, biggest Bills fan I know, so I know kind of stuff about this team. Yep. As a team-wise, they're terrible. But player-wise, they've got great players. There's just no chemistry this year. There's no integrity.
Yeah.
You got Stephon Diggs. You got Josh Allen. Get it together. Get team chemistry going. I just don't. Stat-wise, on paper, should be a good team. Just like Ottawa Senators, but that's a whole talk about that for hours. But Bills, they're just not a great chemistry
team. They can't prove to be them right now.
No.
I mean, Allen already has 9 interceptions on the year. That's like I think for him that's quite a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. It's bad.
His completion rate is kind of hovering around like the 63 actually total in his career, 63%. But right now around 65%, which I know those numbers can go up. He's got the weapons for it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Stephon Diggs is amazing. You got Gabe Davis. He's good. Dalton Kincaid is looking to be a very promising tight end. I think he's going to be really good in the next couple of years. It's just some of the play calls they've been making have just been a little bit questionable. I don't know. But back to Bengals, I am really liking what I'm seeing. I think I did say 0-4 to start. I know that's wrong. That was completely correct. I think it was
0-3.
It was 0-2 actually, and they've won 4 straight. They're 5-3 right now. So my apologies on that if I offended any Joe Burrow fans out there. But yeah, I'm really liking what I'm seeing.
We back. Locations changed.
Yo.
Shooters. We unfortunately had to move locations real quick. Landlords kind of came in and interrupted the segment, so we're in my room here. We've got the setup looking.
Talks on a fucking roll. Let's get it. So 6-game heater. They just handed the Vegas Golden Knights last night their first loss of the year. It's just what they do. I'm a Ducks fan, so sorry. There might be some glazing here, but the team is playing. The team is playing better than expected. They have a level of energy. They have some spontaneity to they have something to them. But the only thing I'm not happy with right now is Trevor Zegras. He was given a pretty good contract. But now it's just I don't know. I'm not seeing enough production from him right now. He's just slacking. But he was even benched against a Blue Jackets.
Benched
against the Blue Jackets. Yeah, mid-game benching.
Wow.
So yeah,
he's not living up to the hype this year, or you think he's just like,
well, he got the bag, and
he's like, I'm the man, bag coming in, I'm a fuck off.
Yeah,
That's what he's kind of
yeah.
doing.
I think it's definitely tough to gauge a little bit.
But good on them for beating the Golden Knights. I did not.
No, it was a great game. They held them to
only
two. They held them to 2 goals through the first 2 periods, and then they scored 4 unanswered in the third.
Well, no, I did see that. I did see
it.
It
Was a great,
I did see that
great
game.
hockey game. You know what? Frank Petrano is putting up some numbers that are going to be tough to maintain. He's got 9 goals, I think, this year, and 3 all from hat tricks. So he has 3 hat tricks on the year, which is leading the league. And you know what? Mason McTavish is really proving to kind of be that guy, I think, on the Ducks more than Zegras, more than Troy Terry. He's got, I think, 3 or 4 game winning goals this year now.
Wow.
And 2 of them are from the 6-game win streak. And you know what? Yeah, he's got 12 points through 10 games. They're doing pretty good. And they're still missing Drysdale. Killorn played last night, actually. I thought he was going to be hurt and still not play, but he came back, but he's a little bit overpaid. So I think once the Ducks stop taking as many penalties, they're top 4 right now in penalty minutes. They are going. I think they won't be a playoff team by all means. It won't be a wild card team. No, not this year. But I think in the next 2 years, there's a lot of good things to see from the Ducks. I really do.
All kind of. I'm gonna say it all revolves around Zegras.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll see how it is. And Troy needs to pick it up a little bit too. Actually, Troy Terry, he hasn't done too much. He'd signed 7x7. I know he's like a kind of a no-name guy to the league, most of the league, but he's been leading the Ducks in points and scoring the last 2 years. So he's been better than Zegras.
Yeah. We're going to go another team that Nick is very favorable of. We are going to talk about the Calgary Flames. Are they burnt out? Yes or no? 3-7-1 so far. Give me your thought.
Yeah, they just the playing it's terrible. We all collectively watched the Heritage Classic against the Oilers. Highly anticipated Battle of Alberta. They got dismantled.
I was looking for a fight right off the get-go.
They don't have that guy, though.
Goalie fights again. Let's do it. But
it's different.
Those fighting guys are both gone.
There's no energy. That you've obviously lost Kachuk, Gaudreau, guys you've really relied on. I mean, even Sean Monahan at one point when he was pretty good.
Chuck.
The D line's changed a lot with Gio being gone, right? They have good players. Like Monji's been playing good, but now he's 1-game suspension for. We'll hopefully pull up the clip. Brutal cross check right to the back of the head of Jared McCann on Seattle Kraken, just uncalled for. Should never happen in sport. So you have Monji, who's a great player. You got Lindholm, who's put up some really good last couple seasons, and I know he can continue to do it. And obviously they got new coaching. Daryl Sutter's now gone. I don't know. They've got I can't tell you really what the issue is. They have top 5 in penalty kill.
I was just about to say.
Their power play slacking a little bit. They're 16th in just penalty minutes too, right? So it's not like they're they're pretty disciplined. They just can't. I think
it's just a matter of putting the puck in the back of the net.
It is, and that's 100% it. Actually, I was looking at their shooting percentage. Typically, I think a good threshold is around 13+%. So 13% of your shots that you have on goal are going in. The Flames are at 7.8%. They are almost dead last in the league with that stat.
Yeah, it's a little embarrassing.
Worse than them, San Jose Sharks.
Let's roll right into it here. Okay, so 11 straight losses. What's going on? I didn't realize Karlsson was that big of a guy for the team.
Yeah,
he was on the Sens. I personally didn't like him, but now that San Jose doesn't have any more, they're dog shit terrible in the nicest way possible. It was it was really bad with the Penguins. Was it 10-1, 10-2?
Yeah, it's 10.
How do you manage to do that in the NHL? Lose 10-2 by a Pittsburgh Penguins of all teams this year.
We were talking about Pat Bev saying Raptors have no dogs. This team is dogless.
Who does
there's not even a puppy right now.
No, now I'm understanding why Joe Thornton just retired.
Yeah,
I 100%.
Well, I mean, he was also really old
but
too.
He saw the potential with this team. He's like, I'm not finishing my career on this note. See you guys. It's not even a puppy. I like that actually.
Yeah.
I came back to thought.
I'm looking at you look at their team, and it's just really, really not cutting it out for really anyone.
4.91 save percentage.
Like they used to, like Logan Couture used to be pretty good. You had Nick Bonino at one point on the team. Thomas Hertel, he's still there, right? Like, they traded away Timo Meyer. I don't know if it was last year, or the year before. Timo Meyer was their best player. He was putting up crazy goal stats. He was their only dog.
Yeah.
Like, and his ceiling, I think, is so high. Now he's with the Devils. So a lot to look forward to there.
It almost looks like even the net and looking at the save percentage, 491.
Yeah.
491. Like it looks like they've got KSI dressed up in a Prime jersey.
Yeah.
Put that dude in net.
Yeah.
And just said, try the best you can.
Literally it. If we'll pull out that clip of Austin Matthews ripping 4 past KSI. Yeah. But yeah, and one of their goalies actually. So they've had 3 goalies in rotation this year. One of them, can't remember his name. He played one singular game. His save percentage was 7.98.
Oh my goodness!
It was 7.98. So yeah, goaltending is obviously a big issue. Their defense is an issue. They can't score. I don't even know enough about coaching. I know this is a little unfair for us to pick on them, but I when I look at the NHL,
we're just giving our
when I look at sport, I'm not gonna go start 0-11. I'm not gonna look at say Memphis Grizzlies. Oh, they're gonna start 0-6.
No.
Like obviously you'll have your teams that have sluggish starts, but they'll at least get one win. Like, I mean, hey, credits to San Jose. They have 1 point on the year.
Double-digit games and you don't have a win.
Yeah.
You're not a contender for for nothing.
That's not even
never.
That can't even come out of your. No, that just can't even be said.
No,
it can't be said. So it's truly upsetting. And I mean, the Sharks used to be a good team. They used to be a good playoff team back when we were kids.
Yeah,
the Ducks were good at that time too. I remember Nashville Predators were good. They were good, but that was the prime days of Joe Thornton, the Couture, right?
That's how you know we're getting old, eh? When all our
when all the
childhood heroes are gone.
They're all gone, man.
That's big.
Same thing's happening in basketball, right? All the good guys are in their 30s. So I don't know. I don't know what the Sharks should do. You might have some ideas. I don't know if coaching change is needed. There's a rumor, but it was a one of those fan pages that aren't accurate at all.
Oh, like Butt Crack Sports.
Yeah, essentially like Butt Crack Sports, and it said that they were going to be removed from the league. There's a term for it. It happens in soccer all the time and stuff. Like teams get moved around.
Put them in the OHL. They would probably.
That's what the caption said. The OHL didn't want them. The AHL didn't want them. The Quebec Hockey League didn't want them. No one wanted them, so they have to stay in the league. That was what the meme was.
It's kind of funny.
Essentially, what's going on? And like, think about it. They have more money than the Arizona Coyotes. They're not struggling to fund a stadium, but yet Arizona Coyotes have still been better. So
yeah, it's bad when the Coyotes have been better than you, and especially the Ottawa Senators. Look at that. But
yeah, it's tough. Tough luck in San Jose.
11. It's what happens with this team with the next.
It's a tough.
Are they going to go 0-21 in the next 10 games? Right? Like.
Yeah. Who do we
probably? But
out of all teams, who do we think they will lose to first? Let's look at their schedule here quickly.
Lose to or win to? Who do you think?
Sorry, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
sorry, win to. Okay, so they play tomorrow night. They play the Flyers. I just saw it here. Yeah, they play the Flyers. The Flyers lost 7-3 in the Ducks, so we might have to. But the Flyers also did beat. We both lost money on it. The Buffalo Sabres.
I could have won $150, guys, and the Flyers
could have. That's what happens. Yeah. Flyers won. Flyers are a team that's kind of in shambles. Then they play the Oilers, who haven't been, they're worse than the Flames record-wise, actually, but they are a good team. Then they play the Golden Knights. Then they play Golden Knights the following day after the Oilers, and then 2 days later on the 12th they play the Ducks again. Like they have their.
I don't know, because I'm looking at this now, and I honestly think it could be, besides Golden Knights, Ducks, I think it could be any of those teams. Like,
yeah,
I think it's just a fluke. I think that's
why I didn't want to bet on them when they played Pittsburgh. Yeah. Because I thought Pittsburgh is a good team, but what happens if this is a fluke? What happens if it's a fluke, right?
I honestly think that, the game that they win could be against a really good team, and then that game they just played amazing, right?
Yeah, or the other team undermines, right? Like they're like, it's the Sharks. They got blown out 10-2 last night. Oh, we're good to go, right?
Exactly, right? They underestimate. This is honestly weird. Like, who knows what the outcome is for that? I just know that there's probably a better chance of them going 0-21 than 1-20.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm going to guess within the next 6 games they're playing the Blues, who are a team out in shambles. I think it's going to be the Blues. But again, it could be the
Blues
Oilers.
or Panthers too.
For all we know, it could be the Golden Knights. Golden Knights just lost to the Ducks. They just lost. They haven't lost yet, right? So like, you never know. It's the NHL. Everything's unpredictable. It's early in the year. I don't care what happens the day they win. Whoever puts money on them is going to be rich. All right. It might take you a couple games to get it right.
Just a few.
But hopefully, just a few, not a couple dozen.
Who knows? Do they play
10.
tonight?
They play tomorrow night. So
who knows? Maybe tomorrow night, some dude out there is going to win billions of dollars by betting on the Sharks, and they actually win.
Yeah, their odds will be crazy.
If you're that guy and you're watching this, send some money down this way because I think we helped you make that decision. But
yeah, we deserve some compensation.
Yeah, no,
for a professional input.
Help a brother out, like get us going here.
But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, anyway, yeah, I don't know. Sharks are crazy. All right, well, I guess we'll kind of go on the last little topic here. I mean, we want to bring up local stories. I think for us, as much as we both love sports, talk about the goods, the bads, bring in our opinions. I think it's also important for us to shed some light on some stuff that should not be happening in sport.
I agree.
Recently, if you guys are Canadian, I have a ton of friends that go to Western University out in London, which is only a few hours from where we're situated.
It's part of the Western and us, all the Ontario University, part of the Ontario University Association's OUAs.
Yeah.
So if you hear any OUA, this was all over TSN though too.
Yeah, but the women's hockey team, they're boycotting, just playing. The university's not willing to fire their coach, who has been playing them through injuries such as like a knee injury where it's so painful to even walk on. You're still being forced to play that, and if you don't play through it, you're benched for the season. That was the ultimatum. Apparently, one of the players was telling the media, and their coach also had ignored some sexual assault complaints too, over that occurred with the conditioning coach, Jeff Watson, and so I want to highlight that. I mean,
this is embarrassing for Western University that this coach is still playing.
Yeah,
and that they've silenced this issue.
Yeah, it's
ridiculous.
There's no place for it in sport, and I think we both mean it like fully, sincerely. Like, this is one of the more screwed up things I've seen, and good on the players for boycotting.
Yeah, I'm standing with them here. Stand up for yourself.
But yeah, truly shame on the university. I think Western's done. They've had some stuff for sure in the last couple of years, stuff with vaccinations, stuff. We won't get into that. That's outside of sport. Again, we're not going to cover that.
They're always in like some
Western's in water. They're always in boiling water.
And
in a bad way. They're boiling in the wrong way. And so just, again, there's not the full story is out there. Head over to TSN if you guys want to read it.
Yeah, if you want to actually read and understand the full story, not just hear two university students yap about it, then go to TSN.
But there's no place in it for sport.
No, we took this a little personally. Just we know people at this university, and it's not that far of a drive from us too. We're both huge into sports, and that's what we're trying to do with professional careers after.
Yeah.
So I just can't see this ever happening. Like, I don't understand Western's point behind silencing it and why this dude is still coaching.
Yeah. I don't understand any of it.
Maybe if someone knows more, talk to us about it. But this, as of now, this is ridiculous.
It's tough. It's a shame that players had to go through that, and we're going through it regardless. What it was. It shouldn't happen in sport. It shouldn't happen in the world in general.
No.
I think world is definitely in a dark place here and there, but this is tough to see. And I mean, we've also seen that in the NHL too, right? A couple of years ago, there was Kyle Beach who came forward. He was a member of the Chicago Blackhawks. He was sexually harassed and assaulted by a video coach. Recently, I think it was last week too, there's another teammate of Kyle Beach who came forward and saying he was assaulted by that same video coach.
What is going on in the sport of hockey?
So, and all that happened was, especially in the first case with Kyle Beach, Quenneville was fired and fined. GM's gone too. But they're still able to keep their draft capital, and now they've landed Connor Bedard, who's the biggest prospect since maybe McDavid, Crosby. So just
Matthews
and Matthews. If you want to throw in Matthews there too, sure.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. But
it's just
a little
I don't
sketchy. They still got Bedard.
Yeah. I don't mean that to mean
appreciate that, Gary.
I don't mean that to be the full point of how they still get Bedard and have this. There's no place for it, and the NHL has to make that clear, because if the NHL is hiding things such as this and silencing things such as this, it might give other schools the sense, oh, we can do it too because NHL can, and obviously not.
Yeah.
And I mean, coaching's gone different. I mean, look at Mike Babcock. He got fired within 2 weeks of after being announced as the head coach for the Blue Jackets, for wanting to go through players' phones because he's so old school, and obviously that's super inappropriate, violation of your privacy. I couldn't imagine that if I was the player. I think to me that's weird because I think your phone is your own personal life. Hockey.
Yeah, I don't think your coach should be going through your phone. I don't think the coach should be that deeply involved with your personal life.
Correct.
At the end of the day, he's a coach for your hockey team.
But none of this should be tolerated. I think I'm not too sure how the OUA sees this in any kind. But
yeah,
Western,
we gotta look deeper in that.
Especially Western, Chicago Blackhawks, the NHL with the Chicago Blackhawks. There needs to be some disciplinary action beyond just firing, right? Like, people have to learn, and like it's just none of this is all right.
No.
And we, you can't have NHL being a poor role model for university sports, high school sports, middle school sports, or even
that's
youth.
The thing. They're role models.
Correct.
People need to understand their role models when they play professional, high level sports,
and seeing stories
even
like
university
this,
sports. Like, you are role models too, not to the same extent, but
no, but you're representing the school.
No, exactly. You're representing. So
how does a coach how is this representing your school by, treating your players poorly, threatening their playing time, and then not caring about sexual assault issues that have happened with the conditioning coach? Like, how do you allow that to happen? I don't know. This is my call out to Western. Yes, I understand. I'm just a university student.
They're probably not going to take us too seriously,
but no, it's completely unacceptable. Should never be tolerated, and I really hope to never see that again in sport.
Yeah,
I really hope not to.
This is a bad look for that university.
I mean, there's a good in sport. There's bad in sport. We want to cover as much of it as we can.
Yeah,
we're also open to whoever watches it. Complete suggestions.
Send us DMs, texts, whatever.
We're gonna have social media fired up here in a few days. This will be
tonight,
this will be on YouTube. We might actually look into putting it on Spotify too, depending on how much it picks up. But send in some suggestions. Send in some feedback. What you liked about this episode, what you didn't. That way we can learn too. Trust me, we're going to make mistakes. We're going to make some mistakes.
Yeah. No, and just like, if you're watching this, whatever, just tell us what you want us to cover. Like, we're just two students, and we just want to start yapping and
it's supposed to be fun.
Have conversation, have fun with the boys, right? Like, make a channel out of it. Let's have fun. We'll make videos, make memories, and just start talking about what we know, right?
Send in suggestions. Thank you guys really for tuning in. It means a lot for both of us. We have put in a lot of work into this.
Yes, it's taken a while.
We're also going to look to create some content too. TikToks, and it's not just, this isn't just podcasts. It's Hawthorne Entertainment. We want to create some fun videos too. We'll be running polls too on our Instagram as well. Just get your guys' opinions on certain stuff. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This was a great first podcast, in our opinion.
No, yeah, appreciate every single one of you.
Tune in next week,
watching the first vid. Tune in. Maybe even next week, this week, whatever. We're gonna get Hawthorne Entertainment put on the map, baby.
Don't talk to my man like that. I like it when you like